Is it possible to think of American beer without thinking of Budweiser? Absolutely not. Budweiser beer is one of the best-selling beers in the United States. The beer is simple by design, and some people are of the notion that its ultra-light flavor is what makes it so popular and beautiful. We go behind the scenes to see how the popular Budweiser beer is made and take a look into the world's largest beer factory. Budweiser beer is an extremely pale lager with a mild, bready aroma, a bit of apple fruitness, a clean, dry palate, and a crisp finish. Beer is primarily consumed as a refreshing beverage. However, it can also be used in a variety of culinary applications. For example, it can be used in cooking as an ingredient in various recipes, such as beer canned chicken or beer battered fish. Additionally, it is sometimes used in marinades or as a liquid to deglaze a pan in cooking. As mentioned earlier, Budweiser is one of the best-selling beers in America, but it is also popular in other parts of the world. This high-energy Budweiser lager is undoubtedly the king of all American beers and the first national beer brand established. So how is this well-known beer made? First, it is essential to list the ingredients that Budweiser uses. Since Budweiser is an American lager, this simply means that it uses 5 major ingredients, namely barley, hops, water, rice, and yeast. However, one of these ingredients holds a secret to Budweiser's crisp and clean taste. This secret ingredient will be discussed later in this video. After listing the ingredients, it's important to know their use and quantity. Barley is the main ingredient of Budweiser and most beers, and Budweiser is about 70% barley, as barley provides the sugar, which is later transformed into alcohol by yeast. Hops are arguably the ingredient that makes beer taste like beer, and this is because the plant is responsible for giving the beer its characteristic bitterness. Rice constitutes a significant part of the Budweiser beer. However, it does not actually add to the flavor, but gives the brew a lighter color and encourages its dry and clean aroma. It will come as no surprise that water is the ingredient used the most, not only in Budweiser itself, but also in the brewing process. And lastly, there's the yeast, which turns the initial sugary water produced by barley into alcohol. Moving on to the brewing process, while laying the foundation of the beer, the barley is mixed with water inside a mash cooker to form the liquid base of the beer. This mash is given a short protein rest at 120 degrees Fahrenheit, or 48 degrees Celsius. At the same time, the rice is cooked for a short period, after which it is added to the mash cooker. It is then cooked once again, which triggers the enzymes in the brew to turn the starch of the ingredients into sugars. After this process is completed, the clarification process starts. The sugary water, also known as the wort, is pumped from the mash cooker to another tank called a Lautertun, whose primary goal is to make the wort clearer. It does so by removing the rice and barley grains from the wort. The clear wort is then transferred to a kettle, and the hops are added to create the bitterness that makes beer taste like beer. Afterward, the wort goes through a stripping process that removes sulfur compounds from the wort. This is done by letting the wort flow over the inner surface of thin vertical tubes in a very thin layer, and through these tubes, hot sterile air is blown. After the wort has been sufficiently boiled, it is moved into tanks where it will stay for 21 days for fermentation and lagering. At this stage, the wort is given time to rest, and this is also the point where the yeast is added to the brew, which allows the sugars to turn into alcohol. The yeast that Budweiser uses is a bottom fermenting one, which means it will sink to the bottom of the tanks. Fermentation happens at a cooler temperature of about 7.2 to 8.9 degrees Celsius. That's 45 to 48 degrees Fahrenheit. After this process is completed, it undergoes the process of pasteurization, which will further extend its shelf life. It is then packaged for distribution into kegs, bottles, or cans. Beer is the oldest and most widely consumed alcoholic drink in the world, and the third most popular drink overall after portable water and tea. This great demand has led to the establishment of many breweries that are keen to have a share of the market. Beer forms part of the culture of many nations, and is associated with social traditions, such as beer festivals as well as a range of rich pub culture activities. The world's largest beer factory is Anheuser-Busch InBev. Anheuser-Busch InBev tops the list of the largest beer-producing companies in the world, with a production volume of about 581.7 hectoliters. It's based in Belgium and currently dominates the global beer market with a product portfolio of about 500 beer brands, including Budweiser and Bud Light. The brewery covers an area of over 2 million square feet and employs over 1,000 people. The factory distributes its products through a network of more than 600 independent distributors and wholesalers. And recently, the company acquired one of the biggest British multinational brewers known as SABMiller. This acquisition will most likely boost the reputation and value of the company globally and cement its position as a global market leader. It is interesting to know who's responsible for making Budweiser. The Budweiser founder was Adolphus Busch, a German immigrant who came to St. Louis, Missouri in 1857. In that era, Americans mostly drank heavy, dark ales, but this man decided to change the habit by creating a light, larger drink that was perfect for hot summers. The original brewery's name was E. Anheuser & Company. It was changed to Anheuser-Busch Brewing Association in 1897 after Adolphus married Lily, his boss, Eberhard Anheuser's daughter. The name Budweiser is a German derivative adjective meaning of Budweis. Anheuser-Busch has been involved in multiple trademark disputes with the Budweiser Budvar Brewery of Czech Budějovice over the trademark rights to the name Budweiser. In the European Union, except Ireland, Sweden, Finland, and Spain, the American beer may only be marketed as Bud, because the Budweiser trademark name is owned solely by the Czech beer maker Budweiser Budvar. Adolphus Busch was the first American brewer who pasteurized beer. He did it before American dairy companies started pasteurizing milk. This made Budweiser the first beer to be bottled and pasteurized on a large scale. Adolphus planned to expand and needed to ensure his products stayed fresh and unchanged no matter where they were delivered. Since Budweiser's hallmark is freshness, you can see a Best By date printed on each bottle. The next step taken by the manufacturer for further assurance of the beer's freshness and original taste after long travels was the establishment of refrigerated train cars. The icy cold rolling transports allowed Budweiser to deliver fresh and cold beer throughout the United States. This further bolstered the brand's reputation and disrupted local markets. It allowed the brand to become the most popular in the country. Rice is the secret ingredient that contributes to Budweiser's crisp, clean taste and characteristic snap. Rice is added to American lager to provide it with a crystal clear look and taste, and this is one of the reasons it tastes different from other beers from the European leagues. Adolphus Busch decided to add rice to the recipe to make his beer unique and different from other lagers available on the market. Do you agree that Budweiser is one of the most popular beers in the world? Leave your answers in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button for new videos.